Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming, and welcome back to Motorsport Manager. We are here with SB Racing, our team in the creative team, and things are going well, I guess you could say. We came in 15th and 16th in the last race, and yeah, things are looking alright. We came ahead of Claudia Dreyfus of Octane Racing and yeah, the two Predator Racing Group drivers and one Eastwood Motorsport driver. The other one up here, Eastwood Motorsport and Octane Racing, yeah, Luigi Marchetta. So depending on how things go, we have an engine being designed, 5 days, 14 hours. We have parts being improved at the moment, although once we get the engine, that will help a fair bit, because right now our car is kind of crap. Oh, wait a minute. Top speed, we're 9th on the grid. Wow. Our engine is 8 performance and 10 performance. 8 and 10 performance. And we got ahead of... we're 9th overall in top speed. Awesome. So yeah, we're just slightly out of Predator at this point. At this point for top speed, so about that. That might be why we came slightly ahead of them in the race. Although with that said, it's not that hard to come ahead of Predator in the in any team, because Predator is kind of like the bottom of the barrel. Although with that said, this team is pretty much bottom of the barrel as well. Our drivers are 7th on the grid, so not really that bad. Predators is 10th. Our car is 10th, and headquarters is 9th. Really? Excella has a worse one, or just... Yeah, I bet that. We have the 8th best staff on the grid. So even with the with the mechanics and designer we hired, that's interesting. And sponsors, we have the 8th best or 8th most profitable sponsors. So, wow, we're doing better than Eastwood and Silva. That should tell you something. Anyway, we have a scouting facility happening in 9 weeks. We have factory level 2 happening in 17 weeks. And that will help us to boost the performance of our parts. It will give us more staff. It'll give us the ability to improve more parts. And we'll of course be able to scout more people. We are currently scouting Valdez 3 days, Frankie Kinney 12 days, Falco Engelhardt 21 days, 23 days until the Munich GP. Wow. Seriously, it takes them that long to scan or scout? Anyway, we are going to just jump ahead. And we have a driver scouting done. Sergio Valdez would be one of the European Racing Series top drivers. On top of that, he still has the potential to become even better. Sergio's best skill is his cornering, but he struggles with his fitness. Well, anyone could be better than the drivers that we have. Anyway, if you want to scout any other drivers, you know where to find me. Performance work complete. If we... Yep, our mechanic is idle. We are going to... So we bumped up the gearbox. We might as well bump up the performance of the suspensions. And we're currently working on those. That is fine. And so where does that put our car for... We're still 10th. We're still 9th there. And 10th. Alright about that. We have another sponsor for slot 6. Boa Vista upfront payment of $1 million. Interesting. We will wait until the race before we're deciding to go for that. So we have 2 here, 2 here. Most likely we are going to get some more sponsors. Our marketability went up 1%, and it only went up slightly. Actually, yeah, 0.33%. We gained 1% marketability for winning, or not winning, placing where we did, which resulted in overall improvement of 0.33%. With that said, we have that there. This gets complete in 1 day, 7 hours. Let's hit the continue button. And mail. Engine build finished. We finished building the new engine. We can now fit it on one of the cars. So we have a performance of 19 and a reliability of 40%. That is unfortunate. New parts are atrocious, but what we will do right now is start building a new part. The next race, this is a spec part. Gearbox is going to be crucial. You know what? We're going to build a gearbox, and we are going to go with acceleration plus 25, risk level plus 1. Reliability, acceleration plus 25 to max. That gives us, plus 15. So 16/65. Reliability is going to be 40%. I think that's the baseline reliability. And so 6 days before the race. Yep, let's build it. It'll cost us $998,000 because we save $52,000 due to our background discount. And yep, I know what I'm doing. And we can fit parts. So we have, we are going to want to use this engine. We'll give it to Andre Gomez because he's our star. We're going to give her that one just because reasons. We're going to go to the improved parts chart section because we want to drop those and we want to boost the reliability of that 6 days after the race. We'll try to get it up as much as possible. We are only going to work on this because none of the other parts really matter. Plus, we're most likely going to build better parts anyway. We want to focus his improvements on that anyway. And actually, if we were to switch Gary Watson over, because he does have staff, compare mechanic with Billy Evans. Yeah, he has better reliability anyway. So let's let's put Gary Watson on that. That'll improve that a little bit more. It'll get this done a little bit sooner, so that is fine. Put all the staff on that side. Now, if we had the headquarters, the factory, we would have twice the amount of staff, twice the amount of staff impact. Therefore, this would improve the reliability that much faster. And we are going to drop those because reasons. We are going to boost the performance of this engine because we want to get it as high as possible. And because we don't really need the suspension. If we go to next race, acceleration, low speed corners, and medium speed corners. So suspension and acceleration would be good to improve. We've capped that out, so that doesn't matter. So we're going to focus on the performance of that part. Although with that said, we could focus fire on this. That's the thing. You know what? No, I'm going to leave it as is. We want to get this engine up as much as possible and get the engine up as much as possible for reliability as well. So that is going to be that. We have 8 weeks on our scheduling facility, 16 weeks on the factory. And we are $1 million per race. So we have saved $709 million, or $709,000. We've made $1.15 million from sponsors, chairman payments of $19 million. We've spent $10 million and $2.6 million on the car parts. Alright about that. So now we are going to hit the continue button. And we have finished scouting a driver. Is Beauchamp going to retire? We've had word from a well-placed source that Jean-François Beauchamp from Garuda Racing is seriously considering retiring. Yep. I think both Jean and Garuda Racing, they're both 39 and 40 years of age. They retire, I think, in the next race. So if you play as Garuda Racing, you basically have to plan ahead in advance, but it doesn't make any sense. Their drivers suck. If you were to take a look at their stats, like 0 to 9, 13 to 15, that's decent. 14 to 15, 13, 16. Actually, he's not that necessarily bad. Well, some mid-range stats here. 0 to 9, 4 to 9. Yeah, about that. And Frankie Kinney. I'm done with my scouting mission. I've found out everything there is to know about Frankie Kinney. Would be an below-average driver in the European Racing Series. She's operating at the peak of her development. So Sergio, we didn't look at before. He's middle ground. He'd actually be decent. His fitness sucks, but he's all around pretty decent. If we take a look at his traits, born leader. Modifier applies when first place in the race, and that is a permanent. There's the difference between permanent and temporary. So he pretty decent. Unfortunately selfish. Mechanic relationship -10. Team morale -10. And chairman happiness -10. I don't think with the mechanic relationship you can ever get more than 90%, since this mechanic relationship drops it down. And there is, if you take a look at not marketability here, there are additional perks that you can get. If I were to put, say, Valdez with him, I would not be able to take a risk taker because that would be locked and would not be able to get. So he's an unfortunate one. He has some decent traits, but selfish, spoiled, -15 mechanic relationship. That's unfortunate. Hates team orders. Driver will not take team orders. And security guard, which is a temporary modifier, +10 morale, -10 mechanic relationship. Oh wow. So yeah, he has issues with his mechanics. His marketability is apparently 100%, so that could help the sponsors here. So that is one thing to consider. Anyway, let's take a look at Frankie Kinney. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 2. I think she is a reserve driver. Possibly with a ZRT Motorsport. Although she's a 2-star, so I don't think that's right. I'd have to check what her controversial. Home race hero. Special conditions during the driver's home race, which is, where is she from? Is that Australia? What flag is that? Where is she from? Anyone, let me know. Keep it simple, stupid. -2 adaptability. Controversial. Chairman's happiness. Pay driver. Oh. Well, she might actually be worth She might actually be worth hiring. Look at that. The driver sponsors will pay you $219,000 for each race they are involved in. 50% if the driver takes part in practice only. She has a 14 feedback. If I were to compare her to, say, Enano Ferreira, if I were to compare her to, say, Andre Gomez, she has better feedback than him. Apparently, he had a +1 to his feedback during practice. She has 75% marketability, but that won't affect things if she is a main driver. I so want to hire her. She would be definitely a good backup driver in the event that. Wait a minute. Faith Anthony, how does she compare? So her braking sucks compared to hers. She's 2 stars. She's limited. She's 35 years of age, so she's aging out. 8 smoothness, 4 overtaking versus 12, 9 consistency versus 11, 2 versus 10, 9 fitness versus 4, 14 feedback, and 15 focus. You know what? I'm going to approach her. Let's start negotiations. Actually, let's jump out of that. I just want to check. I'm paying him $55,000. I will pay the $274,000. Alright, wages aren't very important. Status isn't too important. We're going to make you a reserve driver. $48,000. Prefer, sure, long contract, no problem. Signing on fee isn't very important. Bonus size, you know what? We're never going to get it. But it might make you really, really happy. Signing on fee isn't very important. So we are going to just offer that. We can always withdraw the thing if we want to. But yes, pay driver, that's what you want to look for. At the very least, we will make $109,000 for every race. So that's $1 million that we are making if she's our reserve driver. Minus the $48,000, so she's profit all the way. And if we end up having to sign her or get her as the second driver, drop Faith Anthony, and just go with Andre Gomez as our only hope, we'd make twice the amount of money. Anyway, let's take a look at sponsors. We have 2 available here. Either $500,000 over 8 races, which is kind of crap, or $150,000 over 6 races. This is $900,000 over 6 races versus $500,000 over 8 races. We don't have to accept it right away, but once we get the third sponsor, we will make a decision. But that would give us an extra $150,000, which would put this down to just under or just over $850,000 per race. So we would be doing quite all right. The manager, or yeah, our chairman is, what's his happiness? His happiness is pretty good. We could request additional funds. It would drop his chairman's happiness by 50%, but we would get an additional $1.5 million. So we could do that if we want to. We will. We will, since there's no way that we're going to lose chairman's happiness, so that's going to be a thing, but we don't need it right now. Gearbox is going to be finished. Contract proposal on the same day. And the IGTC, that would be the International GT. Let's hit the continue button. And the World Motorsport Championship. Harry Chapman, assignment Motorsport. happened. And what happened there? Alright, it was just that. Let's hit the continue button again. And we have a few mail. Prepared a brief report on the next race in the calendar, Munich. It'll be a 29 lap race. Lap length is 2.72 miles, and the lap record is 1:25.147. There's likely to be some rain during the race. Sunday showing a 40% chance of rain. Corners around the circuit are mostly average speed, which should give an edge to any car with good suspension. And Gruda have the top in the suspension apparently. Tire compounds are soft and medium. Fairly good track for tire wear. Car is pretty excellent, so yeah, we'll be running on softs. That's all for me. Okay, test track. This must go without saying, but I'd love it if we could build a test track in the headquarters. It would really help me improve my skills as a racer. Well, first of all, we are going to have to upgrade our factory, and then we're going to have to spend the money for a test track. So, yeah, it has beneficial to the engine, so I am considering it. Contract renegotiation. Ooh. Hey, you said wages aren't very important to you. You're delighted about that. You're neutral on the signing fee because there is none. What's the maximum we can offer you? Not that we want to. 48. Let's go with 77777. All right, about that. Drivers, considering, okay. And we have our third offer available here, which is $450, $450,000 upfront, $85K per race for 4 races. This is 170. This is 340. 790 over 4 races versus 900,000 over 6 races. Actually, 790 over 4 races is this gives you the most. Plus, it'll allow us to get a new sponsor slot, so we're going to take Chic Airways. 450,000 up front, 85,000 per race, 4 races. Let's take it. And we have 1 slot 6 sponsor. We still have that. 350 per race for 9 races. That's $3.15 million. So that's very tempting. We'll see what the third offer is going to be. So about that. Now, our car, 6 hours for the gearbox. We are working to improve the performance of our engine. It's up to 24% performance. Up to 74% reliability. Nice. So we'll be able to use that in the next race. And we're giving it to Andre Gomez. Now, what do we have coming up? Scouting driver, contract proposal, test track. Let's continue. And mail. Finished building the new gearbox. We can now fit it to one of the cars. Alright, about that. Let's take a look at the improved parts. We are going to want to improve the reliability. 19 days after the race. For now, we're going to just do both of those. Get a bit more reliability on the engine. Performance, though, we are going to do the gearbox. And I kind of want to... Let's switch Gary Watson back to performance because, yeah, at least until after the race, then we can push the reliability improvements on that. Let's go to design new parts. We have 7 million in the bank. We can ask for additional funds of 1.5 million, so we are going to be pretty good. I kind of want to go with a new engine. So we have 2 components we can choose from. We've unlocked. As you build engines, you unlock more slots. So in order to get to slot 5, you need to build 4 more engines. Or 4 engines. So we have risk level here, risk level here. So we don't want to choose those. Top speed, plus 25 to max. Build time, plus 2 days. Top speed, 25. Reliability, plus 5. Ooh, no. Or plus 40 to the top speed, 25 to the top speed. I definitely will not be using this in the next race. Do I? $59 out of 108. So we'd be getting plus 40 from components, plus 17 from designer, plus 2 from the base. We can always boost the reliability, so that's not really... Yeah, let's go with that. And we save $82,000 off of that. We have $5.5 million in the bank, and we are going to... we've done this, that's fine. We're not going to be fitting the new gearbox, so we'll be waiting until the next race to use that. How are we doing otherwise for the car? Our top speed, we are 9th place. Acceleration is still 10th. We are in 10th place overall. Okay, anything else we need to check? And contract proposal, did we? Yeah, we already did. Financial management. Pre-race gossip, Munich. Time to round out the state of play before we head off to Munich. Firebird MRT. Away from the pack. Hoping to see improvements. Sure. I spotted a number of transactions coming out of the account which I find concerning. If this spending pattern continues, you're likely to be very low on cash by the end of the season. Keep an eye on it. Sure, alright about that. Do you want us to do well? Do you want me to set us up for good things in the future? Let me take care of this. This is why I'm in charge. Don't worry, I have it all good. So yeah, nothing else has improved. We are 6 weeks away from the scouting facility and 14 weeks away from the level 2 factory, which will help us significantly. Team, other than that, so contract proposal, hopefully she accepts it. Alright, we are going to hit the continue button. And we have Scouting report. I'm done with my scouting mission. Scout Falco Engelhardt. He is a 10, 14, 17, 11, 11, 12, 8, 15, and 15. He is aggressive, +2 overtaking. He has a temporary modifier of successful designer, so +40 marketability. His marketability is otherwise 50%. He has fun runner, which is additional 10%. Selfless. The driver does not mind if they aren't given every newly designed part. And he is 26 years of age. He is usually one that I go to. He is pretty decent when you consider. You compare with Faith Anthony. 10 versus 8, 14 versus 5, 17 versus 8, 11 versus 12, 12 and 10, 8 and 10, 8 and 4, 15 and 8, 15 and 9. He's all right overall. He has better stats compared to her generally. If we were to clear that and go with Andre Gomez, 10 to 5, 14 to 8, 17 to 14, 11 to 9, 11 to 12, 12 to 6. Yeah, he's much better than Andre Gomez overall. So, about that. If we were to approach him, he's interested. He starts at $323,000. Wages aren't very important to him. My status isn't too important. We could make him a reserve driver if we want to. Signing fee isn't very important, and a bonus size isn't very important. He'd prefer a long contract. So it's pretty much... he's like the ideal guy. He doesn't care about his status. His wages aren't very important. He'd prefer a long contract. And signing fee and bonus isn't very important. So you can probably get him cheaply, although cheaply will be $323, $22.77. He is 3 and a bit stars, so you have to take that into consideration. So I'm not necessarily looking to increase or inflate my driver's salaries, although with that said, we are paying him $220,000. Let's say I were to get him Falco Engelhardt for... oh no, not the compare. For what was it, 327 or 323? That would be an extra $100,000. He's a lot better. What I might do, depending on what Frankie Kinney comes up as, actually, let's go back to scouting. And 24 days, 10 days, 38 days. Then we have, you know what, we are going to remove, nope. You're going to remove her from the list because what I want to do is we're going to add her back on so that they pop up. Now, racing series, we are just going to start scouting out all the other drivers in our series. Alright, about that. We have 3 drivers scouted, and we are coming up to Munich. So what we want to do, sponsors, we have 2 offers here. Yep, we're going to take Russ Jet, $1 million, and we are going to take Wonderlook. They only last for 4 races, so that's fine. And the slot 6, yep, we'll take them. $350,000. So that brings us down to $582,000 per race, which is going to be pretty decent. We can request additional funds. You know what? Let's accept it. We're going for the money. Our job security is uneasy, but that's no problem. We'll easily be able to achieve things just because of reasons. Because our target is 10th or above. We can't get worse than 10 teams out of 10, so I don't have any concerns about that. So it's basically free money as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we are going to travel to Munich. Sponsor select. You have to choose one of these sponsors. Unfortunately, you can't get them all. You can't take them all, which would be nice. Which means you could get, if you ended up getting second, you can get this one, and this one. Or maybe you can get the bonus payout for whichever's the highest, but no. 16th or above, $75,000 will be down to $507,000 including bonuses. And Andre Gomez, Faith Anthony, Fit Parts. If we take a look at this, we're up to 48% for the Gearbox. If I'm not mistaken, that was down to 20% reliability, so yeah, we've really boosted that. And so we will be able to use that in the next race. We have a 26 performance engine. We have a 17 performance gearbox, which we're not using. That is fine. And other than that, let's hit the continue button. Part fitting, we're done. Track guide. Munich Track B, round 2 of 10. Practice is going to be clear. Average temperature of 17 degrees Celsius and 19 degrees for the race, which is going to be clear and sunny. This is what the track looks like. Tire wear is very low. Fuel burn is very low. 3 mile a lap. 29 laps. We have these tires available. Acceleration, low speed corners and medium speed corners is crucial. And here we go. We are going to put Andre Gomez and Nano Ferrer in. It'd be nice if we could get Frankie Kinney because she has a decent feedback score and she'll obviously give us money as a pay driver. We're going to continue and alright, so both mechanics are saying downforce very high, handling up here, speed balance, ooh, interesting. So this mechanic is saying acceleration top speed up here, speed balance is down here. Most likely it's going to be in this range here. So what we are going to do, we are going to, let's see. So we have combination of medium speed corners, and low speed corners. So we're going to definitely want a lot of downforce. Let's go 17% and 20%. Speed balance, we're going to want to shift it down definitely. Although we'll stay on 17 and 27. You know what? Right now, what I'm going to do, 12 to 14 versus 16 to 18. We have 29 laps, I think. We'll go on softs. We will set this to 17%, 27%. And we're going to go on softs. And now, alright, so yeah, downforce, we can always move in that direction. We will probably not have to increase the downforce or reduce the downforce. Handling, speed balance. So speed balance is going to be pretty much in that range there. Let's drop the gear ratios down. $38 and $56. If we were to... Oh no. Oh, wrong car. 38 and 56. You know what? I'm going to set this back to 50. And we'll see where they lie because the cars are so similar. These are going to be very close. So that is going to be a thing. Let's hit the continue and take the practice. And so we have dry. It looks like there's going to be some clouds. Doesn't look like there's going to be any rain. Track grip is going to go up. Soft tires. Yep, we shouldn't have any problems with tires. Send out. Continue. 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 Send out. Continue, continue, continue. Let's shift up the view so we can see over the trees. Any information? Handling spawn. Nice to hear. Now, do we want to come into the pits? Let's keep him out. Perfect gear ratios. Nice. We are going to have to change one of them. Any other information? Feels like we're running the wrong aero setup. All right. And we're going to bring them both in. And we got good, okay, and great. And okay, excellent, and great. Speed balance. Really interesting. Alright, so speed balance is right on. Handling is okay, so we're going to want to... Oh, this is... What does your knowledge say? So we are going to need... Seriously, okay? 17 and 27. Really? They have both the same rear and front wing angle. Same setup except for here. This is only affected by this, but these influence the speed balance, I think the handling as well. That is interesting. So as a good, we're going to need to adjust 2. Really? Wow. Alright, so yeah, we're going to need to add more downforce. Let's go. We need at least 3 pips worth. So that's 1 pip's worth. Let's put 2. We're gonna put it at 18 and maybe 27.5. And 28. And now we are going to a great results in 1 off. I'm going to keep it here. It's shifted over 1. If this goes in the wrong direction, if this goes down to okay or good, then I know it needs to go back the other direction. So that is going to be fine. So 18, 28, 38, 56. And then we are going to send you out. Good is 2 pips worth. So we are going to go up to 18, 25.5. And then handling is okay, which is 3 pips difference. We're going to increase this speed balance, and we are going to do that. We are going to accept that. Let's see what that gives us. Carrera's out first. What I'll probably be doing is bringing them right back in, because that kind of threw me for a loop there. They had almost the exact same setups arrow-wise, and they have different reactions. Come on, guys, any feedback? We almost have full active knowledge for level 1. And what I'm going to do, we're going to bring him in. And bring him in. And apparently the arrow setup is nicer. So that's good. And we have great, great, and excellent. Went from an 89 to a 95%. We had excellent. So we... Alright, so the speed balance is right on. We need to bring the handling down a bit. And we need to tweak the... Let's give it a little bit more... Alright, so... we kind of want to... bit more understeer, so let's stiffen up the... And then speed balance, we want to probably leave it at that. And then possibly next time around we can just tweak with the tire pressure and tire camber. And we'll just put them out on those tires. Ignore that. And excellent, great, and great. And so we have downforce, handling is great. So we went from good, okay, great to excellent, great, and great. Interesting. So I am could excellent be right in there? I don't think so. Because that looks barely 1 pip's worth. So speed balance more towards acceleration would probably help. Handling, maybe a bit more understeer. What do we want? I'm almost thinking let's put them there, and yep. So that really bumped up. So we're going to keep them on those tires. We're going to switch over to Ferrera. Five minutes left to the practice. I kind of want to bring them back in once more just to confirm the settings. You can bring them in as many times, but I do want to get as much practice knowledge as possible, because it looks like, yeah, the active knowledge is not getting there. Come on, guys, give me some information. Do I bring them in? Do I bring them in? 4 minutes left. It's about 1:25 around the track. Although, with that said, Beauchamp is running. Oh, wow. So 1:38 around the track. We have 4 minutes, so we can do roughly 2 laps in a bit. We'll need a bit of time for setup. Let's leave him out. And just send them overtake and attack. Really happy with the gear ratios, and gear ratios are just right. Nice. Although, with that said, yeah, the 135, 138 is most likely to do with going into the pit and the slower pit speeds. Alright, what I want to do is we are going to bring in... Let's bring him in. I just want to confirm the settings. Excellent, great, and good. Ooh. So whatever we did to the speed balance, it needs to go back the other direction. Alright, so we'll go back to that. If that is good, good is 2 off. Let's tweak the speed balance towards top speed. We'll send them out like that. And then Ferrara. So we've gone from great, great, excellent to great, excellent, great. So that much. Alright, so we need to put the speed balance closer to top speed. Actually, we're going to no, we need to shift the speed balance. We kind of want to keep the... Oh no, handling's gonna be good. Yep, we'll do that. And now, although with that said, had we... I'm thinking we drop this a bit. We'll take that. And now I want you to overtake and attack. Going to overtake an attack. I need you guys to get around the track before practice ends so that we can have one flying lap. And of course more time on the track for active knowledge. 50 seconds. Come on, get around him. "20 seconds. Well, Gomez is probably not going to make it. He is on his flying lap. And Gomez is finished. Where is Gomez right now? Well, Gomez is still on the track. Really happy with the gear ratios. So he should be able to get active knowledge. Doing lap time of 1:38, and there we go. So we have Nano Ferrara hits 13th place. Andre Gomez doesn't even show up. because he didn't even do a flying lap. Not that bad when you consider. And I think he's running on the weaker car, so presuming Andre Gomez could drive better than him, we could be looking at something pretty decent. It's kind of still in the middle of the pack, but the middle of the pack is still the middle of the pack. SB Racing have a crazy awesome driver lineup this season. SB Gaming, your hashtag amazeballs. Really? Holy moly, man. Sabato was flipping amazing out there today. Pretty lame practice session from SB Racing. You know what? Have some of her enthusiasm. Seriously. Impressive stuff from Bao Tang in the Dragon Race Team China car. Looks like they got the setup nailed this weekend. Yes, indeed. And that will wrap up this episode of Motorsport Manager. Next episode is, of course, Race Day. And from what we can see, Andre Gomez starts in 6th place on the grid, and Faith Anthony is on 5th place just because of where they rank in the championship. It is reverse grid, so last place is at the pole, 1st place is at the back of the pack, forcing, of course, the better cars, the better drivers to fight their way up through the pack, giving the potential for those weaker drivers, weaker teams to be in front and stay up front. Anyway, at this point in time, I'd like to say thank you for joining me for this episode of Motorsport Manager. Thank you for watching. My name is Scott for SB Gaming, and as always, have a good day.